For you out there, the money is falling. It's all over the place. It's just, do you want to go grab it? And are you willing to put in the work for some period of time to make it happen? Because I promise you, it's out there for you. And the question you might want to ask yourself about getting rich, why not you? There's no rule that say it can't be you to have as much money as you want or whatever lifestyle you want. Now, when I was getting raised, I thought, hey, I was born middle class, I'm going to die middle class. And I don't know if that's a thought that's unique for me or if everyone else has had that. They're like, hey, I went to college. I guess I'm supposed to have this job. I'm supposed to do these things. I see these other people doing something that maybe I'm curious about, but I don't know if I'm permitted to do that. I'm gonna give you a license. You're permitted to go do whatever the F you wanna do. And you could be in whatever class of society you wanna be in. You can go work on whatever thing you're interested in. I think the good thing is just go find the stuff that you're truly passionate about or interested in and go pursue it like no one's business. I think one of the reasons I was able to get rich in this society is I just kept going, right? So I kept my cost of living really low and I just kept going. Keep fucking going. So Facebook fires me, Mint fires me, Facebook banned my company, got sued by a partner. Like, I tried to do a bunch of different companies. Nothing ever worked. AppSumo finally worked. Stuck with it for many, many years. Hired people to help me do it, and they helped me on the things I sucked at. Finally, then, I guess, in society's eyes, I was able to make some money. But I honestly asked myself many times, like, how did I not quit sooner? How did I not just give up in this experience? And I know for all of us, I'm not unique in that. We all have challenges. We're all like, yo, this is crappy. I don't know how I'm going to keep going. But how you keep going is like, hey, what matters to me that I can work on? And I was like, all these different things were interesting at the time, or I got to work with interesting people or work in interesting categories. And so now being a part of AppSumo.com, I'm like, hold on, I'm going to get paid to go get deals on software that I get to promote to the world. And then I get to make videos sharing and all the learnings that are happening. Yeah, sign me up for life. What I want to discourage you from is getting rich quick and how not to be rich. So here's some common mistakes people think about how to get rich. One, they think it happens really quickly. I have never seen someone get significantly rich within 10 years. Yeah, I know it happens. I know some dickhead got rich off Dogecoin or whatever, but that is not the norm. That is the outliers of people who risked it big and they're gonna lose it big. The people who have significant wealth over many periods of time takes about 10 years. So whatever you're thinking about doing, commit to it for 10 years. YouTube, real estate, food, coaching, software, whatever it is. For me, it's been in the software marketing world, and that's where I've dedicated a lot of my time. Other ways of how not to be rich is doing what people on YouTube tell you to do. If you're seeing some dumbass guy who's showing off some fake ass car and you just copy that person or you buy their course, probably not how you're actually gonna get rich. One thing that's really key is the difference between rich and being wealthy. So Chris Rock had a great line. One of my favorites of all time is, rich is Shaquille O'Neal. Wealthy is the guy who owns the team. I love that quote, man. What do you think that means to you? Rich is the person working that could be making a lot of money. Wealthy is the woman or man who has all the people working for them that's actually significantly growing his asset. When Shaquille O'Neal stopped playing basketball, a lot of that money went away with him. So think about that as you're going on your business stuff. How am I building assets that can continually grow whether I'm asleep or awake? What is the most important principle people need to understand in order to get rich? Consistency with iteration. So it means you stick with something and you keep improving it over a long period of time. Who is wealthy or rich in your own life? What is it about them? They've probably stuck with something and they found something they're really good at. They've done it for a long period of time and they keep improving it. Yeah, it's not a secret. There's no secrets to getting rich. Find something you like to do, keep improving on it, and do it for a long period of time, and you will either get a lot of money or you'll get a lot of money and you'll enjoy the work you're doing. I think one of the key things, and my buddy Ramit Sethi talks about this a lot, is what does being rich mean to you? It is not the same for everyone. You could be a house husband or a housewife and take care of your kids, and that means rich. Going and getting Fiji water, that's what I have in my fridge. That's what makes me feel rich. So for you, the most important thing is not about external stuff. It's define what rich means to you. Is it being able to take vacations? Is it being able to choose your week, who you work with? So that is something that key that you really have to think about. Being rich for me is I get to work where I want to work, with who I want to work, and drink my Fiji water. As I told you, I like drinking Fiji water. For me, after you make a certain amount of money, the most important thing is how do I want to spend my time and being able to choose that. Let me know in the comments, what does being rich mean to you? I think a lot of things about being rich or what it finally means to me is that I don't have to think about money as a deciding factor in the actions I want to do in my life. And frankly, if you want to get really rich, that's how you should live. Not obviously going out and flaunting it or spending it on everything, but if you could live your day however you want it to be more or less work related, that is probably how you're going to end up ultimately making a lot of money. You're like, hey, I really love doing these things. I'm going to do it whether I get paid or not. And that's kind of how I was able to create a lot of wealth for myself. If you want more videos from Uncle Noah, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I put out 3 juicy business videos to help you start your business or side hustles every week. So first off is my buddy David Hauser. He started a company called Grasshopper.com. It's voice over IP, so you can have your own telephone number. I guess people still do that. He started that company and sold it many years later for over $200 million. He owned 50% of the business. Yes, he's worth over $100 million today. So one of the examples is you could start and sell a company. Next up is one of my very good friends who was an early employee at a public company called Lyft.com. So yeah, he got super rich being an early employee, getting shares, and then it went public. Next up is my stepdad, Norm. Hey Norm. He had a traditional engineering job in Silicon Valley, and he just invested really boring and well over 20 years, which helped him retire early. So instead of having like crazy early employee at a company that did well or having a huge exit from an IPO, he had a traditional job, invested pretty smart and boring, and was able to retire from that. And last up is a good buddy of mine who lives in Puerto Rico for tax reasons. From 2013 to 2016, he literally spent almost every dime he earned buying Ethereum, and now he's worth 9 figures. So these are a lot of different examples of people who've gotten rich, and I wanted to show you a variety of ways because there's not just one way to do it. So what is the moral of the story of getting rich? There are many ways of getting rich, and there is unlimited money out there. There's so much money out there to be made. I actually don't believe in recessions. I don't believe that, oh, I can't find a job. It's just that people are working on less important things, or you don't have relevant skills for today's economy. And that's something you have to say, like, what can I do about it? Because there's always an opportunity for literally everyone out there. I'm gonna show you some of my ways and also some of the mentalities that I think will help you get to whatever level of rich you wanna get to. So one of the ways of getting rich is just catching tidal waves and being a part of it. Let me give you some examples of ones that I was luckily enough to be a part of. So I did Facebook social networking. That was pretty damn big. I did Mint with personal finance. That's pretty damn big. I did Facebook games and just platforms like the iPhone in general. Became pretty big. We did the Groupon stuff with AppSumo for software. We did Sumo.com, which became SaaS software. So let me talk about how to catch waves. There's 2 different ways of doing it. One, create your own category. So you create the wave, like Uber, Lyft, Airbnb. There was nothing like that really before. And so your upside's crazy high, your downside's crazy high. You're more likely to fail. Me, I'm like, let me just try to do what already is kind of working. My upside's not gonna be insane, but there's a higher chance it's actually gonna work out. For you, is that if you can just be a part of that wave, wherever you are on that wave, you're actually gonna do really well. An important thing that I really want to encourage you about it is don't be wave chasing. Just find ways you're genuinely interested in. I'm really interested in SaaS. I'm really interested in crypto. I'm really interested in e-commerce. It's stuff that I've been interested in. And guess what? It was also doing really well at the time. So what are some of the ways that are going on? It's still the same waves that I've been excited about for a while. E-commerce, software, crypto. There's a lot of things with like cars right now, especially with electronic cars and autonomous cars. Those are huge ass waves where people are buying them up really, really quickly. So if you can be a part of it, you're gonna do very well. How has my network affected me getting rich? I would say that about 90% of my net worth is because of the people I know. So Eamon, CEO of AppSumo. I knew him because Charlie Hohen referred him to me. Chad, the CTO of AppSumo, as well as my business partner who's helped build a lot of AppSumo over the years because I asked Andrew Warner for a recommendation. And even with this crypto stuff, I have a lot of friends that spend all their day thinking about it, coding about it, and talking about it. And I've just asked for recommendations from them about what I should be investing on, and it's done really well. The world is so much more accessible now than it's ever been. There's texting and DMs and LinkedIn and Instagram, all this kind of stuff. If you want to meet people and build networks around it, you completely can. The whole thing is, what are you going to do about it, and how do you bring value to the other people before you start asking for things? And if you start doing that, the better your network is, the better your net worth will be. I know people say shitty ass quotes like that, but it's true. I challenge you to go try that out for yourself. Go and help more interesting people, and guess what? You'll probably find that there's a lot of benefit for yourself over your lifetime. So these are the 3 skills that I would say have benefited me the most in making money over my lifetime. Number 1 is sales. So if you're trying to do dating, you're trying to sell a product, if you can improve your sales, you will always be able to make money. What I recommend is Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes. It's one of the best books I've ever experienced in sales. The other thing I would highly recommend with that is go work for a company or a product that you already love and sell that. So selling AppSumo, I'm like, hey, we bring you customers and money for free. I love selling it. So those are things I'd recommend on sales. Next up is marketing. Forever in our lifetime, people want more customers, period. That's just a period thing. So if you can get better at bringing people customers, you will always get rewarded. You will always make a lot of money. And the last skill that's made me a lot of money is connecting. So how have I connected with people? And I hate when I say shit like this because I'm not trying to make it so transactional, like go and network with him so you can do this LinkedIn swap bullshit. Go and actually connect genuinely with people so that you can text them when you need help. For example, today I'm looking for some referrals on some jobs that we're hiring for at AppSumo. I texted Eric Rees, I texted Heaton Shaw, I texted Paul Singh, and it was unbelievable. I'm like, man, I can't believe these guys are responding. That's so cool. And it's because I've been building relationships and helping each other over years. And so because of those connections, I was able to actually get valuable referrals from awesome people. So how to actually get rich for dummies? First off, find work you want to do for life. I talked about in the beginning is that the best way to get rich is just live your day like you don't have to actually make any money. Obviously, don't be a lazy ass bum. But if you just did things that you really enjoyed and you're like, oh, how do I actually make money doing it? You could be like the founder of chess.com who always liked working in chess. You ended up making a lot of money in doing chess. Number 2, as I talked about earlier, There are many ways of getting rich. I gave you guys a ton of examples, so don't think just because Noah did it in tech and startups that you have to do it that way. I gave you a lot of ideas for you to go do it out there. Whatever it is, just commit to it for 10 years. There is a 10-year rule I have seen numerous times that if you can commit to something, keep improving it, and you do it for 10 years, you will be as rich as you want. Number 4, you can always marry someone if you're lazy, and then literally you just get rich. Honestly, sometimes that just seems a lot easier. Number 5, industry selection matters. So there's people I know that are working in debt collection. That's fine. How big is that actual opportunity? It's debatable which part you're actually working on. But if you're choosing crypto, e-commerce, maybe credit cards like ramp.com or some of these other businesses, and the industry is huge and the tidal wave's happening and it's gonna stick around, just choosing a different industry doing the same amount of work, you can actually get super more rich. And lastly, you can also just go work for someone rich. So if there is someone out there, Keith Raboy, who I really admire, David Sachs, really admire, tech founders, really admire, Ramit Sethi, Noah Kagan, Tucker Max, all these different people that are out there that are already rich, just go work for them and you'll see the different things that they're doing and they will probably help you get rich. That's why I think like Jeremy and Mitchell that help produce these shows, I'm like, my goal is actually to help them get rich or whatever type of lifestyle they want. For me, I think one other key thing to getting rich in this experience that we call life is that go find something unique. If you're doing the same thing as everybody else, you're gonna get the same results. So go find some type of business. You're like, I don't really see anyone else doing this kind of thing, or I found a way that's actually working for me, and be okay doubling down, tripling down, and really exploring that regardless of what everybody else thinks. I want you to get rich, and then I'll go have lunch with you. Okay, fine, I'll pay for lunch. I love you. I'll see you out there. That was better.